Hi all, I'm Pramod Gupta and I welcome you to my YouTube channel Data My Passion. So in this channel, I bring a lot of videos related to data science. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon so that you will get all the notification related to my future videos. And don't forget to share with your friends. It will definitely help them out too. So without any further delay, let's start today's topic. So in today's video, we are going to talk on data frame basics. In my last video, I have already given you an overview on Pandas library. So if you have not watched that video till yet, you can go and watch it. The link is given in the description of this video, right? So today's topic, as I mentioned, we are going to talk on data frames basics. So data frame is a kind of data structure available in Python or a Pandas library, which you can use to store a tabular data. So as you know that in a data science project, you get a raw data and you have to do a lot of pre-processing step, lot of data wrangling step in order to clean that data, in order to make that data or transform that data so that it will be useful for machine learning model, because machine learning model cannot take your raw data directly and give you prediction. So you have to give in such a format that machine learning algorithm can understand that format and then gives you that prediction. So all those transformation step happening in pandas, you're happening through pandas library, and in that we take all those data from external files into a data structure, which we call it as a data frame. It holds a tabular kind of data. So there are three kind of data structure available in pandas. First one is data frame, second one is series, and the third one is panel. So I'm going to talk on all of them one by one. So in couple of videos we are going to talk on or focus on data frames, data frames data structure. So before talking on data frame basics, let me tell you that I think in my last video I have given you overview on pandas, but I have not told you like how can you install pandas into your system. So let me show you how we can install pandas library into our system. So there are two ways in which you can install pandas library. So first way, you can use this particular command in Jupyter Notebook, and the second way is using Anaconda prompt. So let me show you using Anaconda prompt. So in order to just open the Anaconda prompt, you have to go in the search box of Windows, just type Anaconda, you will get Anaconda prompt open, and then you have to just write pip install pandas and press enter. Okay, in some time it will install. So it is saying for my system, it is saying requirement already satisfied, since I have already installed this pandas library into my system, and whoever already installed Anaconda distribution, this pandas library always already comes installed into Anaconda. So you should not be worrying about if in case in your system pandas is not installed, then in that case you have to install in this way, pip install pandas. That's it, right? Okay, so I hope that now you know how to install pandas library into your system. So in order to check that whether it has installed successfully or not, what you have to do, I'll show you just now. So if your pandas library is successfully installed in the Jupyter Notebook, if you write this statement import pandas as pd, and if you execute that and if executed successfully, it means that this pandas library is successfully installed in your environment. So this is a first step of checking that. Okay, so as a first step, if you want to use a pandas library, you have to use import statement. So you have to write a keyword called import pandas, and here I have given an alias to this word pandas, because everywhere I have to call this library pandas, and I don't want to use the full word to everywhere. So in order to use a shortcut for that, we give an alias in the form of as the keyword to give an alias, and then the name, whatever name you want to give. So short way I have given pd, but you can give your name, my name, it does not matter. Okay, it's just a name we give. So this is how we import a pandas library. So this is how I have already shown you. Now suppose you want to read a data from a CSV file. So if I want to show a CSV file, this Titanic train, so if I go into inside a data frame, this is your CSV file, and you can see like I have a header available here. Or what I can do, I can show you in Excel sheet. So here is your data set I have opened in Excel, and you can see these are the different data we have. So we have passenger ID, P class, name, sex, age, sibling, parts, ticket, fare, and all these columns, survived column. Every detail you can see there is there in the Excel sheet, and this is a CSV file as I have showed you. So this is your data which you are going to read in your data framework. You want to read this file into a data frame. So how can you do that? It's a very simple in Python. You have to use pandas, which you have just imported. Now I'm using alias pd dot read CSV is a method by using which you can read a CSV file. CSV means comma separated file, comma separated values. Okay, CSV. So you can read a CSV file, and here I have given a path data set. So you can see that here my file is present here, and at the same hierarchy I have a data set folder, and in that folder I have a file available. So in order to access that, I have to provide a folder name, then give a /, and then the file name I have to give. So if you want to just read the CSV file, you can do it this way, and then after reading I am assigning that to a data frame called df. I have given a name to a data frame df. So here I am assigning that, and here I am reading, I am displaying the head function using a head function. I'll show you what is a head function, but let me execute the code here. You can see that data which was available in your Excel sheet, right? This was their Excel sheet, and I am displaying it here, right? I'm displaying it here. So I'm reading that Excel sheet, and I'm reading that Excel sheet into data frame, and I have name given df as a data frame name, and any name you can give. It's a kind of object variable I'm declaring here. So this is a df name I have given to my data frame, and I'm reading that CSV file into this data frame, and here using a head method I'm just printing the top records. So whenever you want to print a top record, you have to use a function called a head, and if you don't give any argument, by default it is going to print top 5 record. So as you can see, all your data is available in a tabular format, and this is your data frame. So a data frame is a combination of rows and columns. So it's a tabular kind of data structure, which is holding your rows. These are all rows and columns, right? So if you use head function, by default, it will be going to give you 5 record. If suppose you want to see first 10 records, you have to use head 10. And that's how you can going to see 10 records. Your indexes start from 0 till 9. So in a data frame, there are three things I would say to be focused on. First one is a column. Okay, so this is your column names: passenger ID, P class, name, sex, age. These are all your columns in the data. And the second one is your row index. So these are all index provided by pandas data frame. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This index is already provided by your data pandas library, right? And this is all your data, which you can see it here. And if I show it to you here, this is your data. This is all your column names. This is all your data started from here, separated by commas. So this is your data, I would say. Suppose this is how you can read your CSV file. There is another file format called TSV, tab separated values. And if I want to show you that, you can see it here. This is your tab separated data. Now suppose you want to read this data. It's very simple, I would say. It's very simple. How you can do that? You can use another function called read underscore table, and in the same way you have to give the file name .tsv, and everything is same. Just another function created in pandas to read a tab separated values, and that's how you can read. And I have given the same data set, just it is separated by a tab. That's it, nothing else. So here you have your CSV data, here you have your TSV data. Okay, so this is just I wanted to show you, and this is how you can read your TSV data. Now it is not like that. For TSV you have to use only read table method, and for CSV you have to use read CSV method. You can use this function interchangeably. What I mean to say that, suppose you are using read underscore CSV method, so naturally you should have CSV file, but no, I can give a TSV file name and a separator sep So there is a parameter called separator, and that parameter you can mention as tab delimited. So you are in advance, you are telling your method that your separator will be tab, and that's how this method is going to read a tab separated values in a stored in a TSV file through read CSV method. Okay, so if I execute that, you will get the data. And similarly, you can use a method called read a table, and you can supply CSV file, and you can mention separator as comma, and you can do the same thing. So this is how interchangeably you can use it. So the same method read underscore CSV you can use for reading your CSV file, TSV file. Just you have to provide separator value. If your suppose your file is separated by pipe, you can mention pipe here and give the file name, and it will read your dot read CSV will read your pipe delimited file. Okay. Now the way I have shown you head function, there is a function called tail which gives you last 10 records. Okay, so there are 850 records, and this last 10 record you can see it here. So whatever number of rows you want to see last, you can use tail function for that. Okay, so let's explore some more basic method available in data frame. So once you load your text data into your data frame, you can use a dot info method to see the information about the data. So as you can see that this df method gives you range entries like 850 entries, and your indexes start from 0 till 849. I showed you, right? This is your row indexes. So it has started from 0 till 850. Sorry, 849. There are 850 entries. Okay. It also mentioned that data columns, there are total 15 columns. Okay. So it has given you the column list, passenger ID, how many not null values are there, 850 not null values, and not 850 not null values, and the data type of that column. So as you know, Python directly understands the nature of the data, so since in passenger ID, the Python already seen that this particular column already contain all the numerical column, and that's why it has given int64 as a data type by default. Similarly, in the name column, the Python or pandas might have seen that okay, this is containing some string data, and that's why it has given object data type. So in pandas, by default, object is the data type, just like a string in core Python. In pandas, we have a object data type. Similarly, for float, we have float 64 whenever you have age given in the floating point number, and that's why it is defined as a float. So these are all the columns available, and you can see the details up to that much. It also mention you what are the different data types used in the data frame. So it is given there are 3 float 64, there are 5 int 64, and there are 7 object type of data. And it also gives you memory usage. So almost 99.7 plus KBs of memory, has been used for storing this data frame. So this is your info method. Next one is, suppose you want to see the shape of the data. I mean, this will returns you a tuple giving you first a value as number of rows and second value as number of columns. Okay, suppose you want to store this value into primitive data types like rows and column. You can do this way: rows column comma column is equal to data df dot shape, and that's how you can store 850 value to rows and 15 values to column. And if I want to just execute this code, you can see rows is 850 and column is 15. Now there is another way to count the number of rows in a data frame. You can use len function, and it will give you number of records, that is 850. Suppose you want to see in a data frame how many columns are there, you can use df dot columns statement, and that's how you can get it. It gives you all the columns in a list, passenger ID, P class, everything is given in the list. Okay, and data type is also mentioned like object. Okay, suppose you want to see the index row numbers, right? I have shown you it here, 0 to 849. So if you want to see the row numbers, you can get it using this df.index method, statement, and you can see range index, start is 0, stop is 850, and step size is 1. So 850 is the upper limit, and the row index will be till 849. So I hope that you understood this part. So I would say this is my first part 1 video on data frames basic. Sooner I'm going to upload part 2 as well, which we are going to talk on different parameters used in read_csv, and we are going to talk on that video. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you like my video. If you like my video, please hit the like button. If you have any question or comment, please ask in the comment section. I am happy to reply that. And keep watching and stay tuned with me. I am going to come up with lots of videos. So thanks for watching again.